Hello and welcome to What the Hey, where I'm your regular host of What the Hey, and today on What the Hey, I'm once again reacting to yet another requested video. Today's video request comes from Get Fidged Kid, so hello to you and thank you very much for requesting today's video. The video in question that I'm checking out today is titled SIF Duncan Get Spooked, the model remake, which was uploaded on October 31st of 2019. The video duration is 21 minutes and 22 seconds, and the video description provides insight into the general audience for this video, as well as a few links that can provide information on audio and outside forums. The video itself was uploaded by MickeyFan 1909, so hello to you and thank you very much for creating and releasing your work. Like with all of my reaction videos, if there's something in this video that I feel may disturb someone to some degree, I'll be sure to mention that in the video description, so feel free to check that out before watching the rest of the video. So with all of that out of the way, let's actually watch the video itself. Intense? Okay. Noise. Epic. I'm gonna criticize everything. No, I'm kidding. I'm sitting and I'm thus far enjoying. Very nice. Oh, there's a fan site. That's interesting. Very nice. Oh, I'm guessing that's what SIF is then. Very nice. Did not know. I'll make a note of that question mark. We'll see. I don't know what's in this. I'm not even sure what Duncan Gets Spooked is. Oh. Spooky. It's very slow. Let's go. Spooky, slow. Realistic noises.
In the cold of the silvery night, guided only by a flickering light,
No.
a wee train pushed trucks with all of its might.
That's a strong accent, bruh.
The air was still as they chuffed up the hill, approaching the bridge that would see their kill. Too late to realise their blunder, the trucks tore them asunder.
No, look at them go, rip.
Thrown to the marsh and dragged them under.
Whoa.
No one for miles to hear them yell. Alone and terrified they quickly fell, grasped by the tentacles of a watery hell.
The tentacle? What? Okay.
Some nights in the dark you can hear their call, crying out for someone to stop the fall.
Lol, no.
But no one
R.I.P.
can help them,
R.I.P.
no one at all.
That is intense. Goodness. I love how that was so dramatic, and then it goes into this music. So happy now. Let's go. Rheneas? That's an interesting name. Don't see that too much. I've seen that name. Kind of. Peter Sam. A little familiar. A little bit. No, I don't know Rusty. No. Very square. Very Minecraft. Duke? No, I don't know that much. I don't know. Duncan? Donuts? Maybe. Spelled different. So there's an original thing? Okay. I've never seen that. I don't think so. I have no idea what this is about. Question mark. Spooky.
Many years ago, in the high hills of Sodo, two scrap merchants were out on the rob, stealing guardrails from an old iron bridge and a small mineral railway, serving several quarries.
What is?
well, what have we got here?
A bridge.
Ooh, a lovely bit of iron, this one, don't you think?
Me when playing Minecraft.
I'll just get a butcher's of that.
You sure this is right, Terry?
Stupid sausage. Oh, he's closing down soon, son. But at least they've only got a few more months. It's all over. Well, look at it this way. We're doing them a favour, aren't we?
Yes.
Helping them with all the discount. And if we make a little profit on the side, no one's getting be any the wiser, are they?
Maybe. Probably. I'd love to be
Never entirely profitable, the railway had descended into a slow, steady decline.
Nice.
Poorly maintained locomotives running on rickety old track. The bridge was no exception to this. The men took what they came for and left. Little did they know what they were going to be responsible for later that evening.
Bum, bum, bum. Oh, is this why the trucks or whatever
The
fell?
last train of the day
Yeah.
made its way across the old iron bridge.
Rip.
The engine collected its load of stone and started back, propelling the trucks as it went.
Huh.
The first truck hit a snag in the rails.
Look at it go.
The
R.I.P.
guardrails to prevent a fall
New.
derailment
Where we
of the
dropping,
stop
boys?
bridge. The engine braked as hard as it could, but the weight of the loaded truck was too much.
I can't tell what's
The
legit and
load
what's not.
scattered across the buggy marsh from below, and the entire train plunged helplessly beneath the surface.
Screaming.
No one heard their cries for help. They were miles from anywhere. And by the time the engine was discovered to be missing a few days later, the marsh had flooded.
Rip.
He and his crew had vanished without trace.
I like that sausage roast earlier.
The line closed a few months later as predicted.
Epic. Ooh, transition.
But in the subsequent years, a new source of stone prompted a reopening.
Epic.
The Thing controller sent Duncan, Rusty, and Peter Sam to help with the rebuilding.
You look angry.
As well as re-establishing links with the old quarries, the initial work consisted of clearing branches and undergrowth along the same section as where the old iron bridge still stood. Duncan complained bitterly about it and banged trucks furiously along the
Angry.
yard.
Nice.
Shouldn't sell the trucks in a good yard. The thing controller just wants me out the way. I never wanted to come here in the first place.
Well, Duncan, the way you behave, he'd have been better off not to have sent you at all. You've spilled more than enough rubbish from those trucks,
Rubbish.
and that just means more work for the men.
This is supposed to be your job. I could pull more trucks from here to there than either of you.
Bruh, chill out, man.
Duncan, it's not my job. It's called teamwork.
Oh.
We're taking it in turns to shunt in the yard.
Get wrecked, bro.
Aye. And I've had enough of shunting. I want to go for a run.
Bruh, you got
Peter
wheels,
Sam was
bro.
making his way back to the shunting yards with another rubbish train before heading back to the quarries.
The gauge is getting low. We'll stop at the water tunnel and fill the train.
Let's make it quick. Duncan will throw another strop into the light.
Yeah, so hang up to. I think I'll be glad I got low or something.
The trucks being used for the rubbish trains were old and worn. The Thing controller had decided to give them one last reprieve before sending them off the scrap.
That was
The
scary.
workmen were warned not to overload them, but quite often, needs must. As a result, Peter Sam felt a terrible shaking tugging on his coupling
Oh no.
between
Oh.
himself and the first truck.
Rip.
All of a sudden, it happened.
Bam. It happened.
What's happening?
Yeah, crumbs. The wretched trucks are broken free.
Bye bye.
The guard braked hard, but knew his efforts would do little good. He leapt from his van into the bushes by the side of the line,
Looks like he's just chilling there.
watching helplessly as the truck spun out of control and hurtled down the line. He
Rip.
gave chase for a few hundred yards and then watched them clatter into one another on the old iron bridge, plunging into the depths of the marshland below.
Are they
I still believe
are they dead?
Where did they go? Oh no!
Rip.
Duncan will never let me hear the end of this.
R.I.P. They're dead.
Yeah, never mind, Duncan. Wait till the thing controller finds out.
Maybe it wasn't his issue.
The foreman said that you agreed that the trucks would be able to carry that amount. You're all at fault here, Peter Sam. But those trucks should have been secured on that hill. You'll be shunting here for the duration.
What?
Duncan can start hauling trains early instead.
Finally.
It wasn't my fault, sir.
I want no excuses, Peter Sam. Just be grateful you weren't attached to those trucks.
They're dead.
Unlike the last engine that lost its train on that bridge.
Well, well, well. Peter Sam, the perfect engine, runs out of luck at last.
Bro, his little chain thing broke. I don't know if it's
I'll
his
come
fault.
back to haunt you, you know, lad. You're the stuff of ghost.
I wouldn't joke about that if I were you, Duncan.
Ah, don't tell me I believe in that nonsense. You go and soften the front end.
Don't be so rude, Duncan. Is the engine still here, Rusty?
The valley flooded in the days following the accident. And by the time it had cleared, a rescue would have been both difficult, and given the fact the railway never had much longer to go anyway, pretty pointless.
That's good voice acting,
So,
very nice.
They did the only thing they could. They left him and his crew buried in the
Haha,
marsh.
funny.
How awful.
The railway
Sorry.
became a popular nature walk, and on more than one occasion, people who have ventured out toward the bridge late at night have heard the sound of an engine at work.
That's their fault.
It's not unusual. We do night runs on our railway all the time. It's not so usual when there are no rails for an engine to run on. There was one notable incident the driver knows of.
His eyes are just bob bob.
Why couldn't we have come in daylight? This place has been shut for months.
Oh, it's a bunch of bureaucratic twaddle.
Bureaucrat.
Under the official receiver.
Okay.
Demolition mob are gonna dispose of this lot themselves. We've got to get what we can while there's still time. We're gonna get our lot off that iron bridge.
Spooky.
Ian, am I going nuts? What are you just here, soldiers?
Yeah.
Sounds like a train.
Well, blow me, it is a bloody
That's a good
train.
expression,
Quick,
nice.
get outside!
Then the two men watched as the engine moved a set of loaded
See, the
trucks
engine
across
doesn't
the
look
bridge.
connected, so I don't know what's edited and what's not.
They had been fully convinced that the railway had closed long ago and that the engines had all been set for scrap.
Must be working the mines out.
And then, gradually, the engine's sound came fainter and fainter, and then
Bam.
it vanished.
Rip.
What on earth just happened? Oh, I could have sworn I saw. Oh, that's not a pleasant thing to have to think about. I may be a thief, but I wouldn't wish that on nobody.
Well,
Here, lad, take your hat off. Let us look at this momentous occasion. For the traumatic experience that it is. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved
What?
a wretch like me. What's a bloody man? I've never seen someone have a religious conversion before. I think this experience has told me to give up my life of crime before someone else gets hurt. I think for me it'll be the cross from now on. I have found my saviour in Jesus Christ.
what in the world?
Long may he, well, not live exactly, but long may he prosper.
What?
The two scrap merchants fled.
Okay.
At first, no one believed them. But that particular spot has become popular with campers. And many people say they've seen the engine trying to cross that old iron bridge.
But do trains have a soul then? Is that part of the Thomas lore? I have no idea. That dude's just like...
Good of all nonsense! Ghosts! Ha! I'll be the day.
Well, I
Baby.
believe you.
And well, you should. Many a workman will tell you that when the moon is full and high over the old iron bridge, you can see the little engine and its crew trying to make it home. But it never reaches the other side.
R.I.P.
Rubbish! That bridge is as tame as a pet rabbit. Ghosts indeed.
There he goes.
Never mind him, Peter Sam. Same old Duncan, you know. But I'll tell you this much. He would have a fit if he ever saw the ghost.
And he will,
Yeah, Rusty,
probably.
that's a brilliant idea.
What do you have in mind?
You wait and see. I think Duncan's crew are right keen on this.
The next day, the two crews spoke to one another while Duncan was ready by a fish.
You'll do it tonight. Now, I've got the brick for you here. You must wait for our signal to drop it.
This'll put the wind up, Duncan. I'll whistle as we come towards the bridge. That'll give you time to move out from the siding.
They're gonna
Once
spook
they
him.
had
Let's
agreed
go.
upon a plan, they set to work. Peter Sam went to arrange some coaches.
Nice.
Rusty took a permanent way train to the wharf.
Nice.
And Duncan took his empty stone trucks to the port.
Good for him.
His driver made sure, as part of the plan, to cross the old iron bridge.
He's about to get wrecked. Very nice.
In the valley, Peter Sam whistled loudly, and the echo carried up to the iron bridge.
What are you quivering for? It's only Peter Sam.
I'm no quivering.
All the same, he kept thinking of Rusty's story.
Dude, he's worried. That's it. That's literally.
And when they made it to the quarry, he was keen to leave.
And Rusty will take my favourite place in the shed. We can come back for this tomorrow.
No, we can't. Thing controllers holidays. Let's bring them back tonight.
Duncan's crew could see their plan was working.
Nice.
His anguish was as plain as the lines on his boil.
Are those supposed to be eyebrows, by the way? I can't tell what, like, the above his eyes are. It's interesting.
It was dusk by the time they set off. And with every clatter of his wheels on the track, it grew darker.
Spooky, scary, spooky,
The
scary.
mists were rising in the valley and swirling around the old iron.
I do like kind of the mist stuff. That's
The moon
interesting.
was full and bright, and the rail creaked loudly on corners as Duncan's trains clattered.
Rusty was wrong. There's no such thing as ghosts. There's no such thing as ghosts. There's no such thing as ghosts.
He whistled nervously as he passed the water.
That's a signal. Let's go.
Peter Sam moved forward from the siding, eager to scare Duncan.
Spooky. They're teaming up, bro.
Duncan's driver carefully stopped the train halfway
Oh,
along the
let's
bridge
go. Is that even safe?
as a shrill whistle echoed around them.
What was that?
Bro, you're like a
Through
locomotive.
the mist,
Oh.
Duncan could see flickering lights
seen that before.
drawing closer and closer to the bridge. To Duncan, it looked like a steam engine.
Bro, it's just like
The
fireflies.
engine whistled again. And Duncan's driver went to drop the brick from the side of the bridge.
I like that.
Duncan stood in a mesmerized horror of the lights, and the whistle echoed around them again. The puffing got louder and louder, with a hissing of steam and a clutter of trucks on the rails. But as quickly as it appeared,
It
the lamp
disappeared.
faded, and the silhouetted engine vanished from the mist.
That's weird.
What was that?
Ah! It's a ghost! Take me back! Take me back!
Go forward.
Never mind a favourite spot in the shed. Rusty can have it. No crossing this bridge until daylight. Take me back!
Nice. It worked, seemingly. Nice. Oh, his steam's going in. That's kind of funny. I know that's
Duncan
reversed.
reversed his train back to the water, howling loudly with his eyes closed.
Take me back! Please!
Bruh, does not help.
Duncan?
Ah! It's cobwebs!
Don't be daft. It's Peter Sam.
Patorson.
Duncan opened his eyes gingerly. Peter Sam was waiting in the siding by the water tower, looking worried.
What you all still doing here? I thought you were going to follow us across.
What do you mean, follow us?
We were trying to play a trick on you, Duncan.
And they explained their plan to him.
Your problem started when we couldn't get out to the siding. The points are stuck fast and against us.
It must have happened when we passed you on the way down.
It was real.
It was all a trick. Ha! Ha! I knew it was nonsense.
Yes, but why have you come back then? I heard a lot of whistling from the bridge.
We thought that was you. We only whistled the once for the first signal. We dropped the brake and had the big splash you made. It was really effective, wasn't it, boy?
Aye, if you believe that sort of thing.
Hell, we didn't drop anything over the bridge.
Eh?
How could we? It's a 10-minute walk there and back to here. Besides, what could we carry it up and make a bigger splash in the brake?
They all paused.
Scary.
I thought I saw an engine lights.
But
I saw it too. I thought it was you, Peterson.
What is Peter Sam? Tell him. Please tell him.
fireflies.
Can't be me. You don't think?
It was real.
They didn't want to think any further on it.
But they did.
The two crews fixed the points, and the cavalcade puffed for home, cautiously trundling over the old iron bridge.
Ha. There's no such thing as ghosts.
But even though Duncan kept saying that all the way home to the shed, it didn't stop him from begging the Thin Controller to give him a second chance at shunting the following day in Peter Sam's place.
There's no such thing as ghosts.
It's gotten to
I
him,
don't
bro.
think he sounds very convinced. Do you?
Yes. He got spooked, bruh. Let's go. We're just chilling out. Good music. Oh, they made that? That's impressive. Very nice. Oh, we got like a whole cast list. Very nice. Good job, Davey. Whoever that was. Very nice.
But if it wasn't
Oh.
Peter Sam, then who did Duncan see pushing those trucks onto the old iron bridge?
Nosferatu, bruh.
I can only assume we'll never truly know.
Bum bum bum. Spooky, spooky, spooky. Fade out, spooky, oh, was this? Yeah, this was around Halloween, wasn't it? Very smart. Okay. So overall, very interesting to see. It was cool to have the cast list at the end, because I could tell that there was like a lot of good effort put into this, so it was kind of cool to see the people credited for that. So I think I have a general question that kind of leads into the rest of my discussion about audios and visuals. The title itself says that this is like a model remake. When I saw that for the first time, I thought that this was going to be someone completely making the story using models or whatever that they've like collected, but this was just a lot of combined, I'm pretty sure official visuals. And the audios were done like by fans and stuff, but a lot of it was from the actual like Thomas franchise. So I'm a little confused on what is actually deemed as a legit remake, because that just seemed kind of like a fan edit, but I don't know all the rules and implications about that, so I'm not completely sure. So if the people behind this video were basically just rewriting the story a little bit and kind of adding their own spin on it, I think that's great. I'm just not entirely sure on whether that's like a legit remake, if that's just combining a bunch of different actual visuals from the legit story. The visuals themselves were really cool. Of course, a majority of that I'm pretty sure is from the actual Thomas like Railway series television episode stuff. So of course it looks like really high quality. But I feel like there were definitely some actual edits put into it. Like the whole bridge scene, occasionally it looked like there was like an edited in like locomotive going across the bridge. I have no idea how that works and whether or not that's accurate, but that was kind of cool to see. But overall, the usage of the different visuals was interesting, despite the fact that there was some looping and some random cropping, which was a little noticeable, but that's okay. The audio and narration team behind the video was also pretty cool. Sometimes I would be taken out of the video itself because sometimes the voices would be like blown out or very muffled, and sometimes the like extra audio effects or whatever would kind of go over the actual lines and I couldn't necessarily understand what was being said throughout the entire video. But I appreciate the effort that some people put into the accents or just like their lines in general. I already kind of mentioned it briefly, but the person who specifically voiced the Rusty character, they did a very good job. Like all their lines were very clear and they did a good job with their voice overall. I can't exactly even tell if they tried to do a super strong accent, but it was like really good and really well done, so like props to the people who did that stuff. But I'm always a sucker for like spooky stuff, so that was very nice. But that's essentially the reaction video, so if there's anything that you would like for me to watch, let me know, and I'll get to reacting to it as soon as I can. I do have a Wix website where you can see the schedule that I have set for the rest of the year with requests, so if you're interested in seeing what I'm checking out next, that is available. But that's essentially the reaction video, so thank you very much for watching. Bye.